Ah, ok.
Yeah, hello.
Ne bavez pas vous, mon amour.
One. 1, 2. Okay.
Straight drill. Know about that drug shit, you heard?
Yeah.
Straight drill.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 16th Annual Congress General Assembly. My name is Anna Wyrzykowska. I come from Warsaw, Poland, and I am an AIJA president. And I will lead you today through our main part of the program during our annual Congress, which is General Assembly. I would like to welcome our honorary members, among whom we have also our past presidents. So we welcome our past presidents, Malcolm McNeil, Thierry Abalea, Anita Schlapfer, Paola Fudakowska, David Trolley, Wiebe de Vries, and Xavi Costa. We also would like to welcome our honorary members, Patrick Goudreau, Neil Tanner, Marta Trindade, Renata Antiquera, Niels Friborg, Justus, or maybe Justuf Janssen, Lara Vivas, and Jennifer Maxwell. And we, of course, welcome our distinguished guests to our General Assembly, who are leadership representatives of different international associations, who are Marcos Rios, the chair of American Bar Association International Law Section, Richard Briggs, president of Inter-Pacific Bar Association, Hervé Chemouli, president of UIA, Union Internationale des Avocats, Josephine Ban, sorry Joe, chair of American Bar Association Young Lawyers Division, and Yap Tong Liang, vice president of the Executive Committee of Law Asia. Okay, I guess we can start now with our main program, which would be first the approval.
Sorry?
The approval first.
No, first, Rihanna, we need to have a tribute to passed away members.
Yes.
Because as you may know, very sadly this year, two of our past presidents passed away, Thierry Garby and Franz Dunsty. And so we will have a tribute to each of them. First, we have for Thierry Garby a video message from Elena de Backer, who was her partner, who is a lawyer, as you may know. And so now we have the video. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm very honored to say a few words about the honorary president of AIJA, Thierry Garby. Many of you never met Thierry. Well, you missed something. He was a cheerful person, a great organizer, a great singer, a great dancer, a great storyteller, a great man. His life was filled with projects, encounters, friendship, travel, success, and big disappointments as well, as we all have. He always said, I decided to be happy whatever happens. After having been a lawyer for over 40 years, he decided that he wanted to be a full-time mediator and trainer in mediation. He became one of the most successful mediators in continental Europe. He had a very long love story with AIJA. He discovered AIJA in 1977 when he attended his first Congress. It was then 27, it was the Oxford Congress. And after a few days, he became a real convinced AIJAist, and he would attend all other congresses. The next Congress was in Milan, and at the Milan Congress, he discovered that there was no business topic on the program of the Congress. So he went to the president and he said, you should create the Business Law Commission. And the president said, well, yeah, that's a good idea, and you are in charge. And then he thought, yes, but in a Business Law Commission, the working language should be English, which was a real revolution, because at that time, French was the mostly spoken language in Asia. But he convinced everybody, and so it was. He was an excellent organizer. He organized commissions, seminars, working sessions, but he loved to party too, and he loved to sing. So he created the AIJA Revue, which is a show with a succession of songs and sketches referring to AIJA events and AIJA characters. So the first one he organized was at the Lausanne Congresses, and then he organized many other ones, such as at the Bordeaux Congress, the Copenhagen Congress, the Vichy Congress, and the last one was in Montreux, at the Montreux Congress, in the fabulous theater of Montreux. We had a lot of fun. He had always a lot of ideas, but he didn't have time to realize all those ideas, but he always found members to realize them for him. He was elected president of AIJA in Copenhagen in 1987, and he was the president of AIJA at the fantastic, unforgettable New Delhi Congress in 1989. After he turned 45, he didn't attend much AIJA events because he said, I don't want to pollute the Young Lawyers Association. But we came to the Rome Congress in 2019, which was a fantastic congress. And he gave a speech during the gala dinner, and he expressed how thankful he was and how he admired what AIJA had become, what you made of AIJA. He was so proud of what you made of AIJA, and he said it had become so much more professional than that it used to be. He looked forward to see all his AIJA friends at the 60th anniversary this year at the end of the year in Brussels. He won't be there. We will miss him. We will miss his laughter, his jokes, his singing. Thank you.
As Elena said, for those who were in Rome, I think that you for sure remember him. I think the best way actually to have a tribute to him would have been to to display the video of his speech. We really felt that he was forever young. So you can see actually the picture of him in Rome. And now I give the floor to Vibe for the tribute to Franz Dünsti.
Good morning, everybody. The first time I met Franz Dünsti was during an AIJA event in Rotterdam in 2006. I did not know AIJA, and certainly not one of its most memorable honorary presidents. We shared a train ride back to Amsterdam, and little did I know about AIJA. His friendliness and patience to answer all my stupid questions about an organization I knew little to nothing about, and he knew inside out, is what I recall most of that train ride. A direct line can be drawn between his presidency in 2004 and a toast I had the honor to make at the ABA annual conference 15 years later in 2019, and I hope to give you a bit of insight in why. As we can all learn from the in memoriam on Franz that was shared with you earlier through email, he may be considered a key mover in AIJA's transformation into becoming the global voice and meeting place of young lawyers from across the globe. Franz first became AIJA's Tax Law Commission president. Under his leadership, this commission became a vibrant and very active meeting place for young tax practitioners. At that time, the Tax Law Commission became a model for how AIJA's scientific groups could provide young professionals with a platform to share knowledge, develop international skills, interact with and learn from each other, and create long-lasting networks founded on true friendship. In 2003, he was elected as the first vice president of AIJA at the Congress in Edinburgh, leading to his presidential year being 2004-2005. Franz managed to move AIJA to become a more professional organization, increase membership and focus on a more global membership, also to become on equal foot with the International Bar Association, the American Bar Association, the UIA, and others. To realize this, Franz took upon himself to more than double or even triple the number of AIJA events per year and made them, on average, profitable for AIJA. Under his leadership, many places were put on the AIJA calendar that were not earlier a focus point of the organization. We could argue that even this Singapore Annual Congress is in some way paying tribute to Franz. In 2005, Franz presided over AIJA's Congress in Mexico City. Having traveled numerous times himself to Mexico to work together with the local OC, he was always proud of having created a unique event with a record number of participants. This was a remarkable achievement, particularly for an AIJA Congress outside of Europe. Also, the actions and policies of Franz included the United States, where Franz created a strategic alliance with the American Bar Association section of international law. I had an interesting conversation yesterday night with a former AIJA section of international law president who confirmed all of this in a very long email about Franz again. This brings me back to my toast in 2019. This dinner was at the invitation of the ABA, and bar leaders from across the globe, as well as the other big legal associations, were present to celebrate the ABA annual conference. At the special request of the president at that time, Bob Carlson, AIJA was invited to open the evening with a special toast. A very honorable invitation that obviously I could not decline, and was one of the more spotlighted moments in my AIJA presidency. That AIJA was asked to do this role is definitely a testament to the incredible initiatives that Franz took 1.5 decades earlier to build on AIJA as an international legal association that was there to stay and be taken seriously. As this event in 2019 shows, the heritage of Franz, in summary, after his leaving the Bureau in that same year, 2006, when I was with him on the train back to Amsterdam, was a truly global, financially strong organization which sat at the same table as the major lawyers' associations in the world, being the recognized voice of the next generation of legal professionals. Frans, AIJA is grateful of what you gave, and we will build on your foundations.
Thank you, Wiebe. I would like to ask you for a minute of silence to commemorate our past presidents, Thierry and Frans. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. So, now we will have short speeches from the representatives of the international associations. First, I give the floor and I welcome on stage Marcos Rios, chair of the ABA International Law Section of the American Bar Association. Marcos, please.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, AIJA leadership. I first want to say that I actually remember Frans as one of the most charming, kind, and nicest people I've met at the ABA, and a true representative, I think, of what this great association, AIJA, is. I want to thank the AIJA leadership for the opportunity to be here, for the opportunity to join you and continue learning about this great organization, which I've known for many, many years, but I had never had the chance to actually be here and experience what this is like. I have had more sleep than you all have had, I think, because of work, I haven't been able to go that late at night every day. So I'm glad you're all here, alive, and semi-conscious. I want to thank the AIJA leadership and staff, Vicky, Oreste, and the rest of the staff. You have made this a great annual meeting. And let me tell you a little bit about what I've learned about AIJA. First, there are many similarities between AIJA and the International Law Section. We have, approximately the same number of paying members. We have 12,000 members, but many of them are law students. They're not paying members. A very similar budget, actually, annual budget. We have very similar business model. We, most of our revenue comes out from these in-person meetings. So the pandemic wasn't very good for us either. We have an extremely collegial and family feel at our association, and a very meritocratic environment in terms of you want to move up the ranks, you just have to do the work, people will notice you fast enough, and up you go. But we have some differences too. First is age, and I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. You're much younger, and part of that, your vitality comes partly because of that, from that, but I think that your vitality comes from your spirit as an organization. We have to learn from that vitality. We have to learn from you guys how to party more. We have to learn, seriously, and we have to learn from you guys of how to network as you do. The seriousness, academic seriousness and everything, we share too. But we need to be a little bit less serious and a little bit more AIJA, and that's what I'll be working for. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcos. So now, please welcome on stage Josephine M. Ban, Chair of the ABA Young Lawyers Division.
Thank you all so much for the invitation, and I'd like to start by actually giving thanks to your president, who has not only increased your membership, but your presence globally. She has had a phenomenal year, and I hope you'll join me in a moment of thanks to Anna for a great year. On behalf of myself and the 100,000 ABA Young Lawyers Division members, I'm looking forward to working with Moritz this year on another great year of partnership with AIJA, a partnership that was solidified only a few years ago but has continued to grow, and we're looking forward to continuing that moving forward. I invite you all to, it's been mentioned before, but our international members are invited to our New York conference, May 2nd to the 7th, 2023. We'll have a wonderful opportunity, maybe not as late into the night as you all run, as has been mentioned, but we look forward to welcoming you all to meet with us in my favorite place in the world, New York, for a wonderful day of programming and networking. Lastly, I have an ask. Right now, the Rule of Law Initiative, which the American Bar Association runs in over 50 countries, is operating to work to the many women specifically affected by the changes in political power in Afghanistan, specifically Supreme Court justices in Afghanistan. The ABA Rule of Law Initiative is working to reintegrate into other locations. I'll put this information into the WhatsApp chat, but I would hope that you all would look to work with us on a pro bono basis for this initiative so that we can make a true impact on the women leaders in Afghanistan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Josephine. Now I welcome on stage Richard Briggs, President of the Inter-Pacific Bar Association. Richard.
Thank you very much for the energy, the spirit, which I've so much enjoyed in AIJA. I was going to make a sort of slightly cocky comment about where do AIJA lawyers go when they grow up, but I don't think that really does justification to the organization and the spirit and the energy and the drive which I see here. And as the president of the Inter-Pacific Bar, we are also a friendly organization. We love to think that we have the energy, the spirit, the drive, the warmth that I felt here in Singapore, and also we felt in Dubai when I attended your conference in November. So I applaud the organization for that. I love the feel of AIJA, and I would love it if some of you, all of you preferably, would move on and give the Inter-Pacific Bar Association a chance and try and bring some of your energy and warmth to us. So please feel welcome to come and give the Inter-Pacific Bar Association a chance. We have our annual conference in Dubai from the 7th to the 10th of March. We are inclusive. We're a large organization. We're very well attended, particularly by the law firms of the Asia Pacific, but it's not a closed shop and it's welcome to everybody. And Asia Pacific, as you could tell from the term, is a very broad definition in the first place. So thank you to AIJA, and please feel free to become involved with Inter-Pacific Bar. We would love to have you and your warmth and your spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. And now, Hervé Chemouli, President of the Union Internationale des Avocats.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Once upon a time, I started like that because I went to afraid arrest because he told me 2 minutes. So, I start with once upon a time. No, seriously. It was not possible to take my plane this afternoon without a goodbye to all of you, even in 2 minutes, and to your president, and for all the team for your hospitality. It was a very amazing Congress with so energy, and I was very, very glad to be there. It was well organized, and congratulations for all of your partner, team, and member and president. I say to Anna, your president, and to you, Maurice, your future president, that we will continue to working together in addition with the other international association. The next Congress of the AIJA in Dakar will be the opportunity to receive you. Normally there is a delegation of your association will be there. It was very important to show our cooperation on all important issues. Since we'll be in Africa, we have to make this African proverb, I like it. Alone we go faster, but all together we go longer. So, and further, be careful to my English sometime. And last but not least, when you will be older, please, you have always a place in our association to receive you and to welcome you. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.
Thank you, Harvey. And last but not least, and please don't be confused, there is no announcement on the merger between UIA and AIJA, as you could infer from what's indicated on the slide, unless I don't know this, but so please welcome on stage Teong Liang Yap, Vice President of the Executive Committee of AIJA.
I thought I had a present this morning. Looking at the slide, I became an honorary member. Hope. And a hint. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Anna, and your leadership team for allowing me some opportunity to speak at your annual general meeting. 2 minutes. I wouldn't have finished it by thanking all of you. Actually, it's amazing. I've unfortunately not been able to join your program on a daily basis. I thought of just signing up for the social program. It's amazing. AIJA has a lot to learn from that. But what I see is that I think it's a family atmosphere. Your energy is amazing, and it's really wonderful, and we certainly have a lot to learn from you all. AIJA is basically an association that's regional in Asia Pacific. We have as our members bar associations and law societies in over 40 jurisdictions. We try to be a voice for the legal profession. What's our focus? Rule of law, protection of human rights, and access to justice. We do also have, in a very small way, a committee for young lawyers. We just have decided to call it emerging lawyers. We had a little bit of struggle when we were setting this up, right? Is there a cutoff age? And I found out from Anna that you have a cutoff age, which I just passed, but maybe in spirit we can all be young lawyers forever. But it is an important area. You know, young lawyers are the future of the profession, and I was fortunate enough, again, to thank Anna and her team to be able to participate in the round table. And that's always a continuing conversation as to where the roles of young lawyers are, keeping them in the profession. They are our future. They will take over us as leadership positions, and it's wonderful. And thank you again for everything that you all have come to Singapore. I hope you've enjoyed. The weather is a bit wonky, right? But have fun, and thank you very much again.
Thank you all. So let's now move on to the formal agenda of this General Assembly. Here it is, fully packed, as usual. That's why thank you again for all the speakers to respect the slot. Thank you. The first one is very formal, but necessary. As usual, the minutes of the last GA meeting in Zurich were circulated. Sure, you have read them very carefully. Unless there is any objection, I ask you. Actually, no. It will be in the resolutions to be voted electronically, and it is the occasion for me to remind you that you will be able to vote on the resolutions as of 11 a.m. So in 5 minutes until 12 noon, so here are the minutes. Then let's move on to the reports, and first the report of the President, Anna.
Hello, everyone. You know, it's so funny to notice how everyone is avoiding my name and spelling it, because no one really... Great. Yes, it's time for me to report, but I have done my job also in writing, so so I don't want to go through all the things that we managed to put through this year. It's been a ride. It's been amazing. Now it's a little bit emotional. After all this intense months and trying to understand, what will happen next month and what will come across and which initiatives we will be able to launch and which of them, unfortunately, we will have to put away. But as I have reported to you during the opening ceremony, in past 12 months, we managed to nevertheless increase our membership, which is really great, and we learned that actually a large part of that is from our online initiatives, which were still quite helpful because of the new variants of coronavirus hitting us, unfortunately, in the past 12 months. But we have managed to meet in person, to have, nevertheless, as of the wonderful Congress in Zurich, our great half-year conferences in Dubai and in Gothenburg, great seminars in Porto, Vienna, Levi, Cascais, Naples, Šibenik, London, Bologna, Stuttgart, with altogether more than 800 participants from more than 50 countries. So we think that after all this period of storm, I think it's a great success, nevertheless, to be able to propose to our members those events. And obviously Dubai and Gothenburg were as well great achievements, both of them very different events, targeting perhaps to different audience, but nevertheless large investments in the region, respectively in the Middle East and Scandinavia. And now we are here in Singapore, which is, of course, a huge investment of time. I must admit that, well, yes, I can again, and I should again, congratulate to the organizing committee, to our Congress Treasurer, to our academic coordinators who pulled a great, great event. I think we're all specifically, shocked yesterday what happened in the evening. No one could, imagine that we will find ourselves in circumstances like that. But it's just great, and the fact that our program attracted so many local lawyers, and we can also host our dear friends from other associations and discuss about the future of the legal profession is just making us very happy. Well, yes, we can already say now that this Congress is a great success, but I want to underline that it is a great investment in the region, and that's why we have decided to come that far. But in the meantime, and I should also mention just briefly about the concept which actually was invented by our dear Treasurer Eduardo de la Peña of the regional meetings, because last year was also quite exceptional in that respect. We managed to propose a new format, perhaps, of regional meetings, which we managed to have the first one in Miami with almost 80 participants, which was quite a spontaneous decision for us to make, but it turned out that it's a great way to reconnect from our members in specific region. So I'm hoping that this format will be continued. But of course, we had to have as well our online program because, as I said, we never knew if next month we will be or will not be able to travel to the destinations that we have chosen. That's why we have decided to stay with our traditional, well, now traditional in-person, online programs like AIJA Academy. We managed to propose to you two fantastic semesters. First was actually spent only with Tony Eger-Fine from Fordham University in New York. Great 6 sessions during which we have all learned so much. And the spring program, which was organized by the Skills Commission and our newly created Legal Tech Board on legal tech, legal design, public speaking, all those skills-related initiatives which are so important to learn these days for lawyers. And I want to specifically thank the Legal Tech Board and the Skills Commission to pulling that and proposing that. And we had, again, new format, new idea, a toolkit for a change, our webinar organized by our sustainability officer and our diversity officer, and I'm hoping that this will also stay because it's about reforming perhaps the way the law firms are being managed and organized around sustainability and diversity. You see, sustainability is everywhere. I'm not having any paper, we're trying to improve everywhere we can. And I'd like to thank our dear sustainability officer, Dino, for these initiatives and for much more that he's doing to the association, because this guy is working so hard to not only change association's operations, but also propose a program to our members so that they can learn. So thank you, Dino. Thank you for that. In the meantime, we have launched a specific partnership with Lexology. So all that, what that is. You're receiving email, I think, each day still to show you a little bit how lawyers can market themselves, can advertise themselves by writing articles. And I am hoping that, because that's one thing that I didn't manage to deliver last year due to many different circumstances, but I'm hoping that you'll get inspired by this particular collaboration, and we will be able to launch our own project in that respect, specifically when we will finally open our new webpage, and we will have new capacities to do that. And finally, you know that we have appointed, at the beginning of my term, we have appointed the Bar Relations Coordinator, and I think this time I get it right, how the function is called. It is a function to sustain relationship with the local bar associations, because we see them as an important source of our members, and we have managed to have quite a lot of meetings, I must say, either online or in person during either events in person or specifically we traveled to some of the locations just to touch base with our collective members or local bar associations who could become our collective members or who could support AIJA in launching joint initiatives to be able to advertise AIJA. You will find all the list of the bars in my written report. We have gone through some reforms internally as well. We've been working specifically with Moritz, to whom I would like to thank for coordinating the project with commissions, and you know that we are reshaping a little bit the corporate governance of the commission's leadership. Also Jean-Philippe, JP, and Thomas, for we've been working also on changing bylaws, finally, you know, to making them in accordance to Belgian law, actually. And with Francois, we've of course cooperated for years now on, well, yes, specifically the rule of law webathon that he would probably mention. But I would like to underline that it's never, you know, the one person's job to lead an association, and it's important that we all cooperate, and we all cooperate within the Bureau, dividing among ourselves many different tasks that we need to, you know, pull through during the 12 months, because 12 months is really, really fast, no matter how long, you know, they seem to be if you're spending it at home, you know, during lockdown. Still, there's plenty to do. What I should also mention, I guess, that my year specifically was marked with events, not just, again, arrival of new variants, which complicated AIJA's life a little bit and the regular model of operations, but obviously the war in Ukraine, which, well, stopped our operations as well for quite a bit. We have focused on helping Ukrainians, and specifically Ukrainian lawyers, to find their way out of the country, or supporting them wherever they were in their country. We have also created the special task force to coordinate all initiatives, and I would like to thank all of you, because my address to all of you by email at the beginning of the war was greatly responded by all of you with all the help that you offered to us. Indeed, we have became a little bit of a platform, sharing platform, to connect people, to find them jobs, to find help to their families. We are still trying to help, as you see that we are running for peace. We are also devoting money from the sale of those t-shirts to help, and we will continue to do that. And I would like to, well, from here again, ask you if you have anything to offer, if you would like to stay involved and continue with, you know, help that we can provide, just get in touch with me, particularly. I will take it further, because, well, we thought that by now the war will end. It hasn't, so our mission also as an association is also to perhaps support our colleagues from that region, and perhaps, you know, help them to start their new life also in other country if that's needed, which is why the international network of lawyers is something indispensable to accommodate that. Thank you so much. It's been great. Very hard 12 months. I will, you know, I will get some rest now, but yes, that's what it is. It's you work hard, play hard, but it pays off, and it's been great. Thanks.
Thank you, Anna. As you rightly pointed out, the written reports of the Bureau were circulated earlier this week. So now I give the floor to François for his report. Thank you. And may I say that
What is it?
no matter.
So, okay, sorry, there you go. Mes très, 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 très chers amis, as you may know, I am a picture freak, because I always think a picture is worth 1,000 words. And because I have so many things I want to tell you, I've tried to find the correct pictures to help me do my report. I can promise you, no, I can guarantee you it will be short. I may warn you, I may get a bit emotional. As some of you may know, my father passed away 4 months before I got elected to the position of AIJA president. And I guess the only regret I have is not being able to share with him my amazing experience with you. This is a picture of us in front of the Grand Canyon quite some time ago, when I really was a young lawyer. And don't let the hair fool you, this little boy is me. He loved to hike and I loved to complain during those hikes. But I remember him telling me when we were at the top, always take some time to look back and realize the road you have traveled one step at a time. Luckily, the position of immediate past president gives you enough time to do so. And this third and final year in the Bureau was an extremely rewarding year. But please allow me just to rewind just a little bit. I joined a pre-COVID Bureau in 2019, galvanized by 2 years in the rock star extended Bureau under the charismatic leadership of Vido Vries and Xavier Costa. I had to fight my way to this presidency in a 28 destination trip against my fearless friend David Deris. And I now think David comes from the future, knew about COVID, and wanted to make sure I was prepared enough. So thank you, David. My presidential program has 6 interconnected pillars. Unfortunately for me, so does the COVID official logo. Well, you know the rest of the story. Only 5 months in my first year of the Bureau, AIJA had to fight the most disruptive and unexpected global pandemic it ever had to fight. Lucky for me, I witnessed true leadership in Paula Fudakowska's calm and pragmatic daily crisis management and ambitious 100% digital Congress. I started my presidential year online with zero visibility of the future of in-person events, which obviously was the main income of the association. But one step at a time, we walked through COVID with advanced digital solutions, creative projects, and of course, the amazing, incredible, and moving support of all AIJA members who were there when we needed them the most. Until we all met again at the Moonshot Landing Hybrid Zurich Congress. And only then, after a lot of fresh and cool down, did I take the time to do what my father would have suggested. That is, to look back and realize the sheer amount of daily energy we all put to keep our beloved association afloat, one step at a time. Now, my dear friend, Anna Wierzykowska, has been actively reviving in-person events while very subtly keeping all the useful online events to allow our members from around the world to meet regardless of any constraints. And Singapore Congress. Come on, people, Singapore Congress. Singapore Congress is the Congress I thought we could never have again. As to my friend Moritz, after the Zurich Congress and his M&A presidency, I am convinced he will mountain push AIJA to the top and bring it back to the well-oiled war machine it was before the pandemic. AIJA has now 20% more members than before COVID, and adapted to the roughest crisis it ever had to leave. So sorry for diverging a little bit before my official report, but I thought after this crazy ride, I need to retrospect with you all and a bit with my dad. As to the report, this year I mainly enjoyed opening very emotional in-person events again and meet with old and new friends. I obviously helped Oreste redesigning the website to make it more modern, user-friendly, and a better marketing tool, discovering the power of UI, data analysis, and user experience. I also helped preparing the Diamond Anniversary of the association in Antwerp, and I will follow up on that. Please save the date and be there. This is going to be tremendous. And of course, and probably most importantly, I had the privilege to work with the amazing Human Rights Committee, focusing essentially on season 2 of the now famous Rule of Law Webathon and interviews of Trial International. The rest of the time, I helped my dear bureau and extended bureau members working hard and inputting only when needed and watching them build a wonderful future for the next 60 years. Now, maybe one last thing before I give back the floor. I'd like to make one thing very, very, very clear. Despite all this, I still sometimes meet very nice and caring members asking me if I'm not too sad or disappointed by my presidency, especially after such a campaign. Once and for all, allow me to set the record straight. This presidency was made for me. I love challenge, and it was served to me on a gold plate with sparkles of shimmery glitters on the top. Plus, I got to see my kids grow, take care of my mother, while knowing I was working daily for the greater good of our beloved AIJA and its members, with the constant support of my wonderful wife. And this is obviously priceless. And this emotional roller coaster made me grow as a lawyer, as a manager, as a leader, as a speaker, and like my dear friend Paulo Nasser said, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor, and I would sail that sea with you 1,000 times again. Of course, nothing would have ever been possible without Victoria Carey and her team. They spent the last 1,000 days thinking out of the box, burning the midnight oil, and preserving their team spirit despite the highest level of pressure possible. Now we'll miss our daily calls. I also feel I quite went full circle with this enriching experience in the best satisfying way, and I'm looking forward to attending the Rio Congress as a member without too much responsibility for the first time in 7 years. I've already tried the experience a bit here, and it seems pretty neat. It was an honor serving AIJA these past 3 years. Merci, merci. I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. So Oreste is going to kill us, so I think we should move on.
Yeah. François Barekowska.
Oh, okay.
I think that you are not done.
I am not done. Back to less emotional. The Bureau would like to acknowledge AIJA members. Now, as you may know, it is always a heartbreaking swan song about this horrible, horrible 45-year-old rule. Some people are still negotiating COVID additional extensions, but, you know, Duralex sed lex. So please give a round of applause to our amazing friends. Now, one of them is already overaged, but he will always be in our hearts. What's his name? Chubby Costa. Yeah. Round of applause. And this year we also decided to distinguish some of our members who we acknowledge the contribution of, which are my dear friend from Human Rights Committee, Martijn Burgers, Alex Carbonell, and Sjoerd Meul. I know as a fact that Martijn and Alex are at the Congress, Sjoerd isn't, but if you guys are here, we have some gifts, so do feel free to step next to me and I will give them to you. Back at you. Please do come. Alex, don't be shy. Thanks for everything, mate. Thanks. I don't see Martijn. We will make sure he will get it. Back to you, my friend.
Hello. Thank you, François. So now we move on to the proposal to the General Assembly of new honorary members, and I will ask first Eduardo to introduce one of them.
Thank you very much, Jean-Philippe. Dear old friends, I have the very distinct privilege to celebrate the AIJA life of one of our distinguished members and friends. Former Vice President and President of the Litigation Commission, co-chair of the Academic Program Committee, co-academic coordinator of the Dubai Javier Conference last year. All in all, a decade of service to AIJA, a skillful litigator, but always with a smile, a delightful sense of humor without even trying, hard worker, always dedicated, and whenever AIJA asked for something, he always said yes. So it is for me an honor to propose to this General Assembly the designation as honorary member of our very dear friend, Ned Beale.
Thank you. The next one, because there is a next one, will be introduced by Anna, please.
A past member of National Representatives Committee, also one of the national representatives at the time, actively taking part in organizing quite some events. But most importantly, we appreciate his contribution in keeping this association alive and supporting us in the times of trouble, when we had to take quite some tough decisions and, well, bear in mind and accept the reality around us, for making sure that we also understand that we are making good decisions and our decisions are also well understood, for resilience and strength in continuing the activity no matter what happens around us. Felipe Katz.
And the next and last one will be introduced by Moritz, please.
Good morning. I'm very honored to propose as a new honorary member a hard worker. He's Swiss. From a city with one of the most amazing carnivals. No offense, Rio. He was an organizer of numerous seminars in Lausanne, Vienna, Limassol, Vienna again, the Commission Month. He was involved in the OC of Riga, the half-year conference. He was vice president and then president of the Real Estate Commission, Bernd Haug.
Thank you, Moritz. Unfortunately, Bernd couldn't attend. So now let's move on to the financial part, an important part, especially also for the voting. So please, Eduardo, could you please do your report?
Thank you very much. Dear all, I wanted to start by giving give me 1 second. No? Yeah, sorry. A 3-year outlook of what AIJA and its financial status is. And I wanted to summarize in key words what's the outcome of each year. So 2021 was a very difficult year, just by virtue of the pandemic and everything we had to deal with. 2022, when we met in Zurich, we were expecting that 2022 was going to be a year more normal or back to normal, and wow, did we know. And it wasn't the case. Continued to be challenging, for sure, so still challenging. 2023, I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully we are back to normal. And by back to normal, I mean a year where it can be reasonably expected that we go back to very balanced budgets and we can continue to be expansive in the designs of our association. So, going chronologically, about 2021. So despite the challenges, I just want to highlight the AIJA spirit in all this. And that's reflected in the strong membership engagement in 2021. So to give you some context, in 2019, which was a very important and record-breaking year for AIJA, we had in income from membership, renewals, fees, etc., 463,000 euros. Now, in 2021, despite all the challenges that we have throughout most of the year, we got as well 450,000 euros in membership. So pretty much 98% in membership fees compared to when we were in pre-pandemic times. And it only comes here from the will and decision of AIJA members to contribute to the association and care for it. So thank you for that. We also had highlights, of course, the events. We were able to We were very brave in the way we acted, being the first global legal association to conduct an on-site hybrid event, which was the Zurich Congress, but we also were able to do seminars as well afterwards. So, and those events, and I will these were from a resounding success in every measure, including the financial perspective. Now, in that regard, they were, I will just caveat that as moderately successful, but just wanted to give the full context about it. Now, the challenges that we have, well, that is, of course, COVID-19. So our association lost in 2021 a lot of its streams of income. Generally speaking, in a normal year, 80%, the delta of the income of our association represents around 80% from income from events or related to the organization of on-site events, and then 20% from membership fees. Now, in 2021, when in a given year we used to have like around 16 plus events, we only had 4. So naturally speaking, we only were able to have like 25% of what we typically will have resource to as a source of income. Now, COVID-19 affected us in that way, but also in another way, and that was as well in the events that actually that we were able to carry on, and the timeline was really very strict. And we were not able to provide to OCs, it's nobody's fault, it's just a reality, enough time really to make the events as economic, maximize the income of the events as possible, which is either through gathering enough sponsorship support with sufficient time, or an important amount of registration fees of registrants to the events as well. So this particularly hampered the Javier conference in Dubai, which was a resounding success that we had it, and we will see just here in this conference, we see in this Congress the results of that, about how many of our delegates here are from the UAE. But in that regard, the decision to do Dubai was taken pretty much until Zurich. And we didn't know how it was going to play out, so we didn't give the organization enough time for the sponsorship, but we went forward with it. So I mentioned this because when we met in Zurich, we were expecting certain that we will have a complicated year in 2021. It was a bit more complicated than what we anticipated by virtue of this. Now, specifically about the final accounts of 2021. So the total income of the association last year was 1,795,377.07 euros. The expenses side of the association, the result, we had 2,141,342.32 euros in expenses. So, naturally speaking, there's a delta there that, as anticipated, we had by virtue of COVID. Now, specifically about the event, and I wanted to, before showing you this slide, to give the introduction about why the results of this. So we had a positive financially annual Congress. We had a positive outcome in our seminars in Vienna and Porto last year. We had a positive as well outcome in our different online events and initiatives through last year. And in the Javier conference on Dubai, we had a loss financially, but again, this is something that this investment that we made we are gonna recover that with time. We just need to be patient about the investment that we are making. So the final results of last year was a loss of 345,965 euros. When we met in Zurich, the expectation that we had was around a loss of 279,000. It was a bit more, as I mentioned, by virtue of the complications regarding the timeline of the Dubai Javier conference. That said, and of course, this was were audited these financial results of the association by our auditors, L&S. Now, that's 2021. About 2022. 2022, let me start with the highlights of it. First, very strong membership engagement again. And I really want to mention that, emphasize that. By at the end of July, I just got the report a few days ago, we had already in income from membership 442,000 euros. So if we go back to what I said before, in 2021, throughout the year, we had 450,000 euros in income. So we already have reached, without even go September, October, November, December, and things that happened this month, to 98%. So we're going to surpass 2021, but not only that, it's very, very likely that we were going to surpass the membership income compared to 2019, the last time that we were pre-pandemic. And this is just a testament about the AIJA spirit and commitment from our members. We also had very positive spring events. And in that regard, in the aggregate, we got around 100,000 euro balance, positive balance, as a result of that. But of course, you already know me already. I know that after the positive things, I'm going to say some challenges that we have, and so I'll go with that. So, you know, when we met in Zurich, we were expecting, we didn't know what's going to happen in 2022. Obviously, we were expecting hopefully to get back to normal, and that COVID was going to be the main factor that will affect or impact us. Well, the reality of it is that, yes, that happened. COVID impacted us as well, particularly during the beginning of the year. But also, we had pronounced rising cost, inflation. I think everyone will have noticed that, of course. So that created an issue. Also, not a challenge here, but really from the perspective of the challenge more in the framework of a financial perspective, we also were brave in making some investments, notwithstanding the financial environment, because we thought that we needed to do them, some long-due investments that would be part of the equation to get back to normal as soon as possible and enhance the sources of income of the association. So let me add to that a bit. The way COVID impacted us was in many ways, particularly in the context of our big events, the Javier conference and this congress in Singapore, which when one makes the budget of the association, we are expecting that these events not only, go to about a neutral balance in the context of the income, but actually will be able to maximize as much as possible in the income of the association, the revenue of the association. So with Gothenburg, we had to open registrations late, just by virtue that we got hit with the Omicron wave, end of December, January, etc. So that created a situation where we had to wait, and that affected, of course, impacted probably the number of participants we will be able normally to have, but as well compounded with raising costs. We had to, the budget was designed in a way to expect a number of participants that was higher than what we normally would want in the context of a budget to create a better delta of profit. But that was because we also wanted to keep the cost of the event as low as possible for everyone to attend. So that was one. But that also generated another issue, which is, of course, there was a backlog in that regard as well vis-a-vis Singapore. Plus, Singapore in and of itself as a country was in a process to figuring out how to open its doors and how to do it. And that took some time. So that means that we had a very tight timeline to open as well registrations here in Singapore. And so notwithstanding the record, really record-breaking in sponsorship money that we were able to gather, and by the support of many of our partners, including and particularly, I want to thank you, the Singapore Tourism Board. But the reality is that since we opened late or later than what we would have wanted, that created the challenge of gather, especially here in Singapore and in the region where AIJA is not that well known, enough awareness. That takes time to build. So this is a very successful event where 450 participants. With a bit more time, we probably would have had more than 500 participants, and that, of course, translates into money from a financial perspective. But the investments that we made, which are important, is first, for example, in the webpage. That was a long delayed project, but now we were able to commit to it, and that will generate money for us in the context of because of the different features that are involved with the website, we will be able to monetize them. But that was an investment that we made north of 50,000 euros in order to make it happen. There are other investments that we made investment in our people. It's in order to strengthen our events team, we are investing in that so that we are able to be more timely in the coming years, but more important than that, to provide sufficient resources so that we can maximize income in our big events, and that we hope that will be very noticeable starting in 2023. So, specifically speaking about the numbers. So the revised numbers that we have for the income of the association for this year is 3,182,195.60 euros. And that includes as well the celebration, the 60th anniversary celebration of AIJA, Diamond Celebration in Antwerp at the end of the year. Now, the cost, unfortunately, by virtue of all that I anticipated just now, we think that we will be incurring costs when all is said and done at the end of the year on 3,311,038.07 euros. So as you can imagine, there's a delta here as well. Much less pronounced than what we had in 2021 and 2020, which is a positive sign about where things are heading, but nonetheless a delta of 128,842.47 euros. Now, that's us to 2022. But what to expect as it pertains to 2023. So here we are, the reality is that we need to be, if something has been, we have learned through the pandemic and to what we have lived the last 2 years, is that we need to be humble to appreciate that we don't know what we don't know. It's really difficult to anticipate what's going to happen. What we at least can anticipate and how it's trending is that, and we need to be prepared for, is of the either rising costs or costs stabilizing, but at the levels that we had this year and that were really unexpected in the context of what we were aiming to, of course. So, what is in the works in order to counter that and to be prepared in order to face that? First is the monetization of the investments that we made. And that has to do with the context of the new webpage, for example, that we will be able to really be a tool going forward to generate money for the association. We also will maximize the income across the events through the strengthened AIJA team. So that we will notice that very clearly next year with Hague, with Rio, and the end of year conference in November. The other thing that we did was to adapt the budget structure that we had. Given the pandemic, we were really operating under 2018, 2019 budget structures for our different events that didn't update it. For example, AV costs. We had in our seminars a line item that had a very nominal amount about it. And we have learned through the last few years that how increased the payments that need to be made in AV need to impact the budget. I think anyone who organizes events in the association, and I think that because of course we in AIJA have a minor degree on event organization, everyone will realize that there's an issue with the AV costs always impacting the event. So that's just one example. But the point that we are really took a look at it with the help of the team, Vicky with the APC, we're colleagues in the APC, in order to figure out a way that we can structure that will adapt and work better to the time we are in. So we created budget structures, targets, and expectation in line with 2023. Now, that will take us one part of the road. The other part of the road has to do, in order to really be in position to position the association financially sustainable for the years ahead, it has to do with addressing the fees of the association. The last time the fees were revised was in 2018. And you know, I mean, the world has changed in 2018, since 2018 to now, but if we can agree in many ways, I think that one way that is unmistakable is that it's much more expensive, the world right now, than what it was in 2018. Now, I want to be very clear. We are not, and I'll show the next slide is about the numbers. So that we are not trying to be overly ambitious in this, just trying to do what is necessary to get to the point where we have a balanced budget once again, and trying to figure out which are the places that will make sense to do it. So specifically about the fees that we propose for 2023. And this is targeted mainly for individual members above 30 who are in a position in their career generally who is better equipped to handle an increase in fees. Now, the increase in fees is moderate in the sense that we propose to go from 290 euros to 360 euros. So it's a 70 euro increase. The other increase proposed is on the individual members, 26 to 30, and it will increase just there 30 euros, less, I mean, more than half of the increase suggested for the above 30 threshold. And we will go there from 150 euros to 180 euros. For individual members below 26 remains untouched and the same, 75 euros. For future members, the same as well, 20 euros, recognizing the different levels and stages that every person is in their own career. For collective members, we slightly increase the membership fee, just as well to adapt to the times, from 750 to 850. For the young section, we also slightly increase it from 375 to 450. So with all these measures that we are proactively enacting, because quite frankly, the expectation and idea is that next year, when the accounts are presented, we'll show a picture of normalcy and back to a balanced budget. The expectation and what that I proposed to the General Assembly to approve the budget for 2023 will match, will have a very balanced budget of the result. The final result will be a negative balance of just 4,177, but this much as likely could, the margins are thin, so we could very much, I think we can all embrace the challenge to have a positive budget as soon as next year, with all the measures that we have taken. So what are the key factors for all of this? Well, and this is probably the same message as I gave last year, and one is engagement, engagement, engagement. Please continue to participate in the life of the association, and that implies attending conference, registering for them. For example, I invite you to all our seminars in the coming months, Edinburgh as well, and the end of year celebration of the association in Antwerp, and as well the commitment across the association to have financially sustainable events. And there I appreciate really the partnership and collaboration from our OC members, from our commission officers, and as to how they work with the academic program coordinators, and also thanking them for work with the Bureau and, of course, with the team. Finally, as to AIJA is, I want to be very clear, and this is where I want to close here, is that AIJA is in a solid financial position. We were able to withstand without being aggressive and investing in organizing events, but making investments during the pandemic, during the last 2 years. But at the same time, very mindful about where the association was financially, and it has remained very healthy throughout the years. So throughout these last 2 years, and this year is no different. So the status of the accounts of the association. In total, the association has as cash available 1,139,334.07 euros. Out of that, there's different categories of accounts where this is allocated. Importantly, the reserves of the association remain very solid and up to 636,271.74 euros. So that is where we are. That is where we are. That is how we got here, where we are, and where we are heading. So my proposals to you is, first, if you would be to approve the 2021 accounts, the approval of the revised 2022 budget, the approval of the 2023 budget, the approval of the appointment of the auditors for 2022, and the approval of the new membership fees for 2023. That's it for me. Thank you very much for your trust and for your commitment for the association. Thank you.
It's okay. Thank you, Eduardo. So before having a short break of 10 minutes, let me give you an important reminder. The voting windows will close in 8 minutes at 12 noon. So as you may know, and as you may have seen in your inbox, there are two votes accessible on My AIJA. The second window was open at 11 on the resolutions proposed by the Bureau to the General Assembly. So please vote if you did not. And the second one was open yesterday. Could we have the slides, please, again? No? The first one was open yesterday about the elections. I don't have the... well, there are 3 elections as usual. The first one for the FVP position, and so here is Eduardo. The next one is for the election of the new Secretary General, and the excellent candidate is seated next to me, the Deputy Secretary General Thomas Fribar, that, whom you know, of course, a very well experienced member. For the EC, we have this year 22 candidates for 16 positions, which were checked by the elections committee, and I thank actually the members of the committee, Caroline Barb, Emmanuel Kaspereit, and Ferenc Balenger. I thank also Vicky, who supervised everything, and Chloe, who had the heavy task to replace Anne de Jambes. So as you can see the list here. You can see that it's quite diverse. We have 12 jurisdictions represented, including countries outside Europe, and almost equal gender diversity. So please vote for the very last 5 minutes, and we have a break of 10 minutes to resume after. Thank you.
play so many. It sounds angry because I'm trying so many things at one time. You see, I have sorted them out. I have a whole bag of things that I'm trying to work through and get the one essential. Would you say that you're trying to play everything you hear? No, I don't.
It doesn't work? Okay. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. We resume the General Assembly, and hopefully we will finish on time. First, my short report as Secretary General. You can see on this slide the first page of the statutes of the bylaws, which you all know, I'm sure, but they will be a bit changed, slightly amended later on. Anna mentioned them in the work we did. She said that the task is to have them complied with Belgian law. I reassure you they are compliant with Belgian law today, but we have a deadline in 2024, and so that indeed the goal, and hopefully before, to have the bylaws amended. The idea was also to take this opportunity to refresh the wording, as on several points we can feel that they are not in line with the actual functioning of the association. So that's why we have been working on the wording to make it more in line with the reality of our association. So within the Bureau we worked during several sessions, and also, as you may know, we had roundtables during EC meeting on this topic to have some feedback from the EC members on the main themes to be possibly addressed in this process. So it will be the task of the next Secretary General and of the next Bureau to have the new bylaws approved by 2024, and I wish them good luck. The next slide is about membership, as usual. You can see on this table the figures, and Eduardo mentioned it also earlier. We can see a very good number in 2022 in comparison with the previous years, an increasing number. And as usual, we have the ranking of the most represented countries, and very surprising, who is first? Switzerland. Actually, that's the same ranking as last year, but with an increase in every country. So that's also quite positive. And now I will give the floor to the NRC members, Arnie, Clara, and Fernanda, to announce the award of the Best National Representative.
With our Best National Representative Award, this year we want to honor a particular achievement. Our winner, in addition to all her normal representatives' work, managed to organize 4 webinars for local bar associations, and each of these webinars was attended by more than 400 participants. So she was able to promote AIJA to an incredibly large audience. The winner is Alessia Ciaccari from Italy. Please Celestia to join us on stage.
Just a few words. I'm so happy about this great prize. I have no words. I want to thank you, the great National Representative Committee co-chairs, Clara, Fernanda, and Arnie, because they always, in our meetings, they always pushed us to share ideas and to think out of the box, to understand how we could make other people, other members to know what AIJA is. And as you know what it is, you understand how, for me, it was easy to transfer my passion about this association to my Italian colleagues. And I had to thank you, Anna Wirzikowska, because she always supported me and she always attended my there were 4 different webinars with Milan bar, Naples bar, Turin bar, and Bologna's bar, and she always said, yes, I can come and say, and present the association to your Italian colleagues. And last but not least, my Italian colleagues are amazing, and when I called them, they responded, and in thousands. So, because I think we gather more than 1,500 of them to join our webinars and also our event in person, because we had 2 amazing events in the last 4 months in Italy, one in April in Naples, and the other one in June in Bologna, and I could not represent a better country, and I'm so proud of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you and congrats again. Let's move on now to the report of the academic coordinators of the Congress. Please welcome on stage Giovanni, Audrey, and Lars.
When we were asked to serve as academic coordinators by Anna, we were explained what the role was: to organize and oversee the academic sessions. But I think that definition has changed. In the not too distant past, academic sessions used to be live-only events. Panels would share ideas and deliver contents, reports would be written and filed away, but it was ephemeral. If you missed it, you missed it. But everything changed after Zurich, the first hybrid in-person and virtual Congress. Now, academic programs require detailed session scripts, dynamic slideshows, full video production teams, high-tech stages, and of course, without compromising thoughtful and compelling legal content. Academic coordinators are now legal film producers. We record our academic program in Ultra HD and will soon publish all of our Singapore academic programs online. It was our privilege to help produce 16 full sessions for the benefit of our professions, our members, our hardworking speakers and moderators, and yes, Eduardo, our sponsors.
Well, as it was mentioned, AIJA way is working hard, playing hard. but it is a teamwork. So allow me to make a few thank yous for those without whom all the academic program you will have enjoyed this week would have not been possible. First, my fellow ACs. Here they are. So Lars, Giovanni, and the wonderful Chiara, that is not here today, but she is in our hearts. I also have to thank those who have made this program fantastic, and their fantastic words. Zurich ACs for last year, for providing us a roadmap for their success. The OCs, always, always insightful. The Human Rights Commission, and of course the Brussels team. Fanny, for her incredible insight and knowledge. Oreste, trying to force us to follow the script, of course. And Vicky, Anna, Chloe, Miri, and all the others. Last but not least, thank you, Anna, for having entrusted us for the less fun part of the Congress, but for this wonderful journey that you have shared together. And on a personal note, I will miss our weekly calls.
So yes, as Audrey mentioned so well, this is not just the work of 4 academic coordinators, even not about a joint effort of the AIJA experience. What we experienced over the past, well, 8 to 10 months, I think, is how we were absolutely amazed with the hospitality and willingness to help us out to reach out to the local legal community. We received from the Singapore Ministry of Law and the legal associations in Singapore, so the Law Society, the Association of Corporate Counsels, and the Singapore Academy of Law, and of course all the excellent lawyers here present in Singapore. So I think that also already deserves a big applause to them, because definitely without them, this academic program would have been completely different and not as well received as, well, you all could enjoy it this week. So big thank you to them, to the Singapore authorities. So yes, it's because of them that it made us possible to have a lot of local speakers and general counsels in every session. And it made the life of the session coordinators a little bit easier. Also, big thank you, of course, to the session coordinators and the speakers and moderators. I know you have to put up with our requests, our deadlines, our follow-ups. Sometimes, well, we also learned to speed up the process and to write in a very, very polite and friendly way, sometimes very annoying messages. But yes, that's also our job. But everything went well. I think we are very happy here today with the outcome. Of course, you're always a little bit uncomfortable when not everything is 100% as you want it to be from the beginning, but well, we had full trust that it would turn out well, and we are super happy with the delivery of all the session coordinators, the moderators, and the speakers. So also a big thank you to all of you and here present today. Also to everyone attending, because we know we had some very, very fierce competition of an infinity pool, which was a little closer than the convention center. But we were so happy to see yesterday morning, during the skills session and the session of AIJA Women Network, that it was really well attended on the last day, and it wasn't raining. So thank you, all of you, for attending the sessions. And I want to end this, well, little overview with thanking one person in particular. She worked very, very hard. She has been on screen. She's not with us today for happy reasons. I want just everyone, it was a pleasure to work with her. She was a very hard, very skillful worker. She put in all the time and energy with Italian passion. Moritz, the Swiss, maybe outnumber the Italians, but as Alessia showed, as Chiara does again, the passion they put into the work, and Chiara did today and the past 10 months is incredible. So I want you to give a big applause for her, and that she can hear it back in Italy and record it, put it on WhatsApp, that she gets a warm feeling inside for all the work she put into that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a good opportunity to remind that she might be watching the General Assembly actually online, as it's streamed online. And so if she has sleepless nights for other reasons than AIJA reasons, let's say, she might see you, and thank you to her. And there might be also other members watching the General Assembly online. So now let's move on to the address of the incoming president, Moritz Maurer, and his famous 3 points.
Dear delegates, dear officers, dear honorary members, dear representatives from ABA ILS, ABA YLD, UIA, IPPA, and Law Asia, dear friends. My name is Moritz Maurer. I'm 44 years old. I'm based in Zurich. I am an M&A lawyer. I'm a runner. I'm a skateboarder. For my incoming speech, I want to address, as Jean-Philippe said, 3 things that are important to me. And yes, it will be longer than 1 minute. My AIJA venture kicked off 10 years ago. I started with the Trade Commission, back then known as the Distribution Commission. I got involved. I became the Vice President of the Commission. David, thanks for the initial guidance and welcoming me in this association. As my work focused more and more on M&A, I focused also at AIJA on M&A and thus the M&A Commission. A very well-oiled machine. I got involved, I got very involved. I changed to M&A VP and became subsequently the President of the Commission. Manuela, thank you. I also was a member of some organizing committees, of seminars and half-year conferences. And lastly, I had the honor and the privilege to co-chair last year's annual Congress in Zurich. Philip, my dear co-chair, thanks for having been a friend for me in a time when life was not that easy. AIJA changed my life. Because of AIJA, I truly learned what business development means and how one can play the game. And yes, one of its aspects is that you proactively communicate what you do and where you're from. Marie and Rainer, thank you. Because of AIJA, I established not only an extensive international, but also a national network. And yes, these networks work. Because of AIJA, I switched to my today's firm, where I became partner, amongst others, because of AIJA. Because of AIJA, I met friends, I met true friends, who I know are here for me in good as well as in bad times. Guys, thank you. And finally, because of AIJA, I fell in love. AIJA changed my life to the better. It is, however, upon you how much AIJA you allow in your life. It's upon you what AIJA shall become for you. Personally, I'm convinced the more you invest, the more you receive. Motivated, happy, engaged members are the best ambassadors of this lovely association to ensure a true global association. I therefore want to ensure that both today's AIJA and tomorrow's provide for the same opportunities as AIJA did to me. I promise, being president, to ensure that AIJA can also change your life by providing opportunities. The world, as well as AIJA, have changed. We have seen stormy days, and still do. The business model of Corona does not very well match with the one of AIJA. We have adapted, we have changed. By doing so, AIJA, with its online presence, became the pioneer of the legal associations. Paula, François, and Anna, thank you very much. Fingers crossed, let's knock on wood. Hopefully, the COVID turmoil is now over. It is thus time to focus, actually to refocus on the core value of AIJA, which is bringing people from all over the world together, be it for business development, be it for personal development, at a seminar, at a conference, or at an annual. AIJA will remain being present online, but let's refocus on in-person events, on in-person business development. Together with the OCC, we have asked the AIJA commissions to provide us with a 3-year plan. Having these plans now, the ACC and the Bureau intends to analyze the plans, discuss and to decide together with the commissions on AIJA's future strategy. I promise you, being president, to ensure that AIJA will consolidate and refocus on its value. Lawyers or service providers, our job is to make the life of our clients easier. The same applies to AIJA and AIJA's clients, our members. But it's not me. It's not a one-man show. It's teamwork. Together with that team, the Bureau, the Extended Bureau, as well as the Brussels teams, we are here for you, our members and our commissions. I promise you, being the president, to ensure that this team will serve you well, coordinated and efficient. Before I close, allow me to add one thing. I've been asked now many times, are you ready? I usually answered not in a fully serious way, and as I would stand at the starting line for another ultramarathon, not having trained that much, I was born ready. But let me answer this, and let me answer this question again, here and then in Rio. Am I ready? I don't know. I've never done something like this. Am I nervous? Am I scared? Hell yes. But I can tell you one thing. I will try my best. I will work hard to make you, AIJA, and the team proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Moritz. Maybe next year we will have 4 points. So we had elections. We are now closed, but thanks to our fantastic e-voting system supervised by Vicky, we can announce the result now. So first, regarding the resolutions proposed by the Bureau to the General Assembly, I'm happy to confirm that all the resolutions were approved. Regarding the elections, first, but we will keep this for the end. Oh, surprisingly, Eduardo de la Peña Bernal elected as FVP. The next one regarding the Secretary General. Oh, Thomas. Congratulations, Thomas. You will do great. And so, can we go back? So, the EC members, it was quite a competition this year. Interesting one, especially for those who tasted the durian. So, we have the results. First, with 277 votes, Maria Jenner-Holm. Second, with 271 votes, Sophie Gilliam. Third, with 266 votes, Joanna Cho. Fourth, with 264 votes, Nadia Smahi. Fifth, with 261 votes, Marine Simoneau. Sixth, with 254 votes, Eliane Haas. Seventh, with 253 votes, Christine Concepcion. Eighth, with 250 votes, Lorna Cella. Ninth, with 249 votes, Nick Atkins. 10th, with 239 votes, Gustavo Coelho. 11th, with 235 votes, David Roche. And with the same number of votes, Salome Wieser. 13th, with 205 votes, Tomasz Baron. 14th, with 187 votes, Christopher Wolters. 15th, with 184 votes, Vikash Saraswat. And 16th, with 183 votes, Mathis Roskrolius. Sorry. So, here are the results. Please note that, as usual, there are sometimes lucky losers because of there are other officers who should step down with a double hat in the EC. So it will be announced later by the new Secretary General. Great. So, yes, the appointments announced also during this Congress in the Extended Bureau for APC. We have Christian Richka and Kato Arts for the APC. Michaela Pelinka in the OCC. And Sylvia Van Schaik in the HRC. And as previous bar relations coordinator is now the new Secretary General, we have a new bar relations coordinator, Radina Tomanova. And the final list also of the appointments made by the Bureau of the Presidents and Vice Presidents of the Commissions, thanks to the hard work also of the OCC. Thank you, Damien, Aurélie, and Nikki, who is maybe watching the General Assembly. Here is a list for each commission. I let you read through the names for each commission. So for banking finance, commercial fraud, environmental and energy law, healthcare and life sciences, in-house counsel, insolvency, IPTMT, international arbitration, labor law, litigation, real estate, and skill, trade, and tax law. Please give them a big applause for all these officers. And also an information on the appointment of the new national representatives and local representatives which were appointed earlier this week by the Executive Committee. You have here the list of the new national representatives, and on the next slide of the regional coordinator, local representatives, and regional representatives. In this list, there is a new national representative for Ukraine, and thanks to the magic of Oreste, we should have him online. Yes? Can we see? Ah, sorry. I can't see. Ah, yes. Hello. Hello. So, yeah, can you hear us?
Yes.
Great. So, I don't know if you can say a few words. So first, thank you for joining despite the circumstances. Could you please have, yes, a few words, Alexei?
Yes, hi everyone, Alexei from Ukraine here. This is such an honor and privilege to be here with you guys, unfortunately online because of the circumstances. What I would like to do is to say a huge, massive thank you to Anna personally and all the AIJA for supporting my people and our lawyers in particular throughout these difficult times, and for the continuous support of us, of our population, as we go into the 7th months of this unfortunate war. We have created a platform on My AIJA to support Ukrainian lawyers and AIJA members, which is really cool and great. And I know there's a massive amount of work going on and effort being put in to assist in whatever means possible, humanitarian, financial, whatever. And yeah, I do encourage you guys to keep this up, because the war is not over yet, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. So yeah, I would like to encourage everyone to keep this up, and I will do my best as a new national representative, which is a great honor for me, by the way. I will do my best to keep up the good work, to support and promote AIJA in Ukraine in these hard times, and support our lawyers as well. Yeah, that's about everything I wanted to say. Again, huge thanks to everyone, and feel free to contact me if you have any thoughts, ideas, or whatever related to Ukraine. I'm always online, and I wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexei. Take care.
So, Jean-Philippe, we have the miscellaneous part, which is the only mysterious part of the agenda for you today.
It is.
So there are really big shoes to fill in after you, and as Moritz says, if Moritz says he's nervous, I'm double as nervous as he is about the work that is ahead of me. But now is the time to really thank you for your excellent work, for your excellent humor and contribution. And we prepared a small thank you video for you, so please enjoy.
Thank you.
Hello, JP. We made this video for you as our thank you and goodbye. Enjoy and merci.
JP, in one word, kindness.
It's so wonderful how the nickname has stuck. And it was so great being on the bureau with you. I really valued your good humour and your calm approach, which got us through challenging as well as lots of enjoyable times.
How would I qualify the relationship between JP and the AIJA bylaws? Well, I think they have an intimate one.
They were long-time lovers.
JP and the bylaws? That's probably a complex love story, but a very passionate one.
I have to say that it was quite funny to be able to identify some flaws in the translations that I think nobody had ever noticed before.
The Bureau understood that you never use too many words, and I would say that men of few words are the best men.
A man with the best ideas.
Very careful in consumption of words for unnecessary stuff. That's why we love him so much, because he's super short.
Thank you so much for all your hard work, dedication and love for AIJA. I really enjoyed working with you because it was always so easy.
Beard is cool. Yeah, well, keep it that way, man. Team Beard.
When I first introduced JP to the rest of the Bureau as my proposed Deputy Secretary General, I told everybody that this was because of his excellent work as academic coordinator of the Rome Congress, but also because he's a handsome man. I am sure that the reason why he kept the beard after that is because of my words.
Since the Rome Congress, you never shave. And I would say that you rock.
Merci Jean-Philippe.
Merci JP.
Merci JP.
Merci Jean-Philippe. Jean-Philippe, c'est Hollywood.
Joyeuse retraite, Jean-Philippe.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And with Coldplay at the end, that's the best. Thank you. Oof. Well, I'm still here, I think. So is there any point in the agenda, Tomasz?
Yes.
Because
Moritz?
Yes, thank you, Oreste. Sorry. And there's another video for another person. I mentioned it during my speech, and I want to emphasize it here again. François, you did a hell of a job during Corona. This association is mainly alive and kicking again because of you. Thank you, and we have prepared a little video.
3, 2, 1. No, really punch me. Yeah, no, punch. Fuck peace and Christmas.
François, thank you very much for what you did.
Hello from Panama.
Hello, this is Louise Wong from Hong Kong.
It's your moment to look back and celebrate.
One word to define François?
Uncomparable.
Extraordinary.
François is crazy. Sorry for that, buddy.
His vision for the Congress in Zurich. Proxies.
Open-minded.
Positive.
Intellectual.
Dynamic.
Rockstar. Everybody knows.
He's the ultimate hype man.
Smile. Big smile.
Inspirational.
Formidable. Digital freak.
Warm-hearted.
He's an optimist. François in one word, AIJA. Mountain pusher.
Dashing.
Funny.
Charisma.
Super French.
That's correct. Right?
Caring and calm.
Friendly.
Inspiring. His laugh.
Playful.
Kind. He's a zebra.
Innovative.
Socializer.
Inspired.
Is action.
Dedication.
I should say snow. Sorry, yellow snow.
It will be smart and fun.
AIJA spirit.
I love François because he taught JJ how to make these amazing Congress videos.
Awesome! He's passionate, he's great, he's warm.
Because he has a big, big heart.
For me, Francois has always been there.
I love you just because.
He's polite enough to always press like on my stupid WhatsApp jokes.
He brings people together.
He's a volcano of pure energy.
Because he is incredibly friendly.
And fast thinking.
He's a people person.
But it will always, always remind me of him.
I love François because he's the best.
He's my lover. I'm kidding.
Because he cares about every single one of us.
This random bird and I love François because he always makes us laugh.
I love François for his open heart.
He's the only guy sending me lengthy voice messages over WhatsApp.
I love François for his sense of humor and his devotion to AIJA.
Because he makes everyone feel better by his side.
He's supportive, present for the team and for the members, and challenging.
Who is always so generous with his time and his energy
because he keeps it real.
And I love François because we both love Burger King.
It's impossible not to love François.
You're crazy active, you're crazy committed.
An optimistic eye on any situation that arises.
Dear François, AIJA loves you, we love you, I love you.
I'll always remember François in all of our conferences, taking funny videos and being amazing.
Do you know François really likes video games?
He's the only lawyer on earth who has convinced his firm that spending his days on Facebook is actual work.
Thanks for all your hard work during one of the worst times of...
You guided AIJA through muddy waters and you did a great job.
You made it, you rocked it. And he has never lost his enthusiasm and his perseverance.
So, if one asks me, why do I love François?
You were good, you represented so well your country.
He seems to be skeptic and still do not trust a Mexican. Well, it is what it is.
But this is not the end of our friendship.
You've been a fucking amazing president.
What a journey it has been.
Thank you, François.
For being François. All the best.
So, grazie mille, François.
Tack, François.
François, vielen, vielen Dank für alles. Et à bientôt.
Merci François.
Danke, François.
Vielen Dank aus Buenos Aires.
Obrigado por tudo, François.
Thank you, François.
Grazie mille, François.
Herzlichen Dank, François. Weiterhin alles Gute.
Merci beaucoup de tout mon cœur.
Dankjewel, François.
Danke, François. Grazie, François.
Dziękuję, François. Merci, mon ami.
Merci François.
Dankjewel.
Seriously. Merci beaucoup, François.
Merci François.
Thank you, François.
Bisous.
Adieu, François.
Danke, François.
Dankeschön, François.
Merci, François.
Tack så mycket, François Barre.
Grazie, François.
Danke François.
Merci. Look at the boat.
Merci François.
Thank you, François, for everything you've done for AIJA.
Muchas gracias.
Danke, François.
Dziękuję, François.
Muchas gracias por todo. Hasta luego.
François, thank you.
Obrigado, François.
Grazie, François.
Thank you, François. Merci beaucoup. Rogele.
Mulțumesc frumos, François.
Merci François.
I would say thank you in my mother tongue. Shukran كثير, François.
Merci, merci, merci.
Dank vielmals, François.
So, tack.
Dziękuję, François.
Dziękuję, François.
Thank you, François. You rock it. Merci beaucoup. See you. Bisous.
We are AIJA.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, after so many emotions, I think it's time to close the General Assembly and to see you in Rio. Thank you.
Look home.
I'm gonna hug on them. Come and sit.
It's done, actually. No joke. No?
Yeah.
Mr. Secretary General,
Yeah.
do you agree? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
See you in Rio.